There it is. My dad went EV.
It's electric. certain fate. We'll make our final stand. Lost in the dark, we've come so far. Another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day. 'Cause only nightmares break their flames. So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah, until the end we will remain, and we'll hold on until the last So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah, until the end we will remain, and we'll hold on until our last
All right, welcome back to SCAD Esports. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the only Riot-recognized league where a game can get delayed by 15 minutes because this enemy support needed to go get 15 Big Macs. I'm Alex Weimer, aka Chugabit, with my co-host today.
I am Aiden, aka Sprinkles, and I'm pretty sure it was 20 Big Macs, actually.
Oh, true. Regardless, we'll have more on the scoop in the post-game. Tell you whether or not we thought those Big Macs affected the outcome of the game.
Oh yeah, support not getting to really chow down as much here, but it looks like we're starting to get into the draft here, see what bans come through for each team.
That's right. Since we've last seen a game, there has been a big patch that has gone through.
Yes.
A lot of changes. Characters like Cassante and Cassidon have been taken out of the meta. Both characters that we ended up seeing in the last match from SCAD.
Yeah, getting big nerfed there, and we can see the Jax ban coming out from the side of, oh god, who are we facing today?
We're facing Baylor.
Baylor, yeah, coming out from Baylor. Jax still a very prominent talk pick, not getting much from the nerf hammer and the patch there. Camille ban coming out from SCAD here.
Yeah, both sides focusing on that top lane right now, trying to balance out who they want to see fighting there and who they want to be going into. Seems like that's the lane that both sides think is going to be the most impactful as it goes on. As an Udyr ban comes out, obviously could be flex top, primarily a jungler right now and a damn good one at that, but yeah.
No, yeah, Udyr evading this nerf hammer just every patch, and I don't know how. Udyr being top tier jungler for seasons now, almost. Constantly being contested in the jungle, with AP being the primary source of damage junglers have been looking towards.
Yeah, that rework he got just really helped him out with that great visual update. Janna gonna be the last ban coming out for support, which is the only non-top side of the map ban that came through, and we've got Maokai coming out in response.
Maokai, still very good jungle. The nerfs not really doing much to him. He can still get amazing control of these bushes in the jungle, and just it becomes so hard to recontest, especially if it's your own. Having to walk into that vision that Maokai has with the traps can be really damning there.
Oh, and now I see what Baylor was doing there. They're picking Senna Seraphine for their bot lane combo. Seraphine being another favorite support by SCAD supports player Wind Redacted. So yeah, it's I see the strategy there, trying to take away some safer options. But we have seen with the latest patch notes change that engage supports got a big buff. So maybe there's been some work done on that. We might see something crazy coming out instead.
Ashe support looking to come out here from SCAD with Xayah ADC. Ashe support still not getting affected too much by the patch. She'll still be able to get those 30-second ultimates off, which can be really annoying. But Umbral Glaive, I'm pretty sure, getting a bit of a nerf for ranged champions this patch. It takes 2 hits to destroy wards instead of 1. With Sejuani looking to come out here from the other side. Never mind. Annie getting a lot of buffs, actually.
Although I do know a hotfix just went through not that long ago, I believe it was last night, addressing both the recently changed Ace-Soul with that wonderful new CGU, and Annie, toning both characters down a little bit as they seem to have gotten slightly out of hand with the most recent patch notes. But we're going to see Cassidon come through, even though he was one of the just aforementioned banned characters. Maybe still seen as a threat, or maybe it's just because it's a comfort pick for SCAD's mid laner.
Oh yeah, Cassidon here. The nerfs looking more like a slap on the wrist, honestly, most of them. He can still scale incredibly well with Rod of Ages and just become that monster that you really want in the late game in these team fights.
Yeah, indeed. We're seeing Wukong come out as the next ban on the side of SCAD. Both sides kind of taking some time stepping back and looking to address. As I say that, Cassiopeia receives the final ban from Baylor.
Do you know who I see that isn't picked or banned yet?
Who?
Aurelion Sol. I just want to see Aurelion Sol. That
I do too.
Looks so fun.
God, I do too. I want to see someone take it all the way. And hey, Jingleberry is a fan of those mid lane mages. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done a little bit of work with him, maybe. And if we see him come through, then I'm all for that. As Xin Zhao is going to be the last ban. Both those bans focusing on the jungle pick there.
Yeah, Aesol really, I feel like he slots into this new meta really well, being a new scaling pick, getting that Stardust, making his abilities bigger, doing more damage, the executes. He can be a monster in those late game team fights. Of course, they had to give his W, the flying, reset on kill, because why not? So you can just be drive-buying in these team fights, staying on the outlines, and just do some insane damage on that character.
Yep, and the sad part is we're actually not going to see him because apparently he's disabled this week, according to the wonderful SCAD support Wind Redacted. So,
truly.
Ignore all that talk.
Fun to talk about, though.
Yeah. Syndra is going to seemingly come through instead for SCAD here, going into that Annie. And Jarvan, picked on the side of Baylor, as the jungler. I believe the only pick left open for SCAD right now is top. Both sides saving that for last, it seems.
Ornn, really safe into a lot of picks. If all else fails, just level up, give your carries items. J4 was one of the buffed characters this patch. His shield now scaling off of AD. Huge buff for J4 there, just giving him that little bit more survivability in team fights. Set, Cassante. Are we going to see Cassante?
Despite the nerfs, I'd be very surprised to see that.
I
yeah,
mean,
Cassante coming through. I feel like
a champ like Cassante, and if you're good enough, you got the damage, you got the mobility, you can still do some really nice outplays here.
Absolutely. I still feel like Set perhaps is the better choice into Ornn, at least personally from my own experience. I feel like he does better, does a lot to deal with that max health. Cassante, definitely not a bad pick, but it seems like top lane's going to be a lot more of just sit back and farm. And both sides probably going to be playing a lot for that late game. You've got a Senna on the side of Baylor, you've got Syndra on the side of SCAD. So, yeah, I think Ornn helps a lot with that scaling, though. So, we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, Cassante, I just feel probably the nerf that's going to hit him the most is that all-out nerf on the ultimate. Going from 65% reduction to like armor and mana resist to a 80%, if I am correct.
I believe it was 85.
Yes,
yeah,
85%.
A full 20% of your resistance is knocked off. So now if you're going in with Cassante with his ult, you are really committing to going in with Cassante in that ult. Which, hey, I'm all for that, but it does bring down the sort of unkillable god that Cassante had kind of gained a reputation as in the last few patches. I mean, we saw last week Gaui piloting Cassante and pretty much just diving straight into the entire enemy team with one kill and walking away with full health. Like, Cassante could take everything and give back more, so we'll see how it plays out, I guess.
No, yeah, the Cassante ultimate, just giving you that healing and not taking away all of your resistances. You were still pretty tanky, and you were healing, and you had the damage. You just became a monster with that ultimate.
Absolutely. So we'll see how that plays out. Beyond that, I think the bot lane matchup is going to be interesting. I feel like SCAD has a bit of the early game side here, but once that starts getting later and later, it's going to go more and more in the direction of Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor definitely taking a little bit more of the scaling option here, but both teams really having that late game in their back pocket.
All right, we're going to go on break real quick as we get into the game, get things set up. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a matter of minutes. All right, and welcome back, everybody. We are in the game now, and things are starting up fine.
No, yeah, I don't think either team here really going to want to look for that invade play. Both of them looking more towards that scaling option, wanting to get into lane here and just start getting pressure there.
Yeah, neither side also really having that much hard engage level 1. You could maybe do something with Seraphine and Senna, in tandem with like a little bit of poke from Jarvan, but not too much going on either side in terms of options for even trying to get that engage going. It's likely just going to be both sides sitting, staring at each other from a distance, longingly hoping for something to happen and nothing actually happening.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be blocking off the entrances to either side of the jungle for both teams. Waiting for the minions to come into lanes here.
Exactly. The other thing is I think both teams have better disengage than they do have engage. So it makes more sense for them to just sit and wait, see if the other tries to go for something. You can just throw an Ashe W out, and at that point, I mean, all you got to do is walk back while they're slowed, and that whole engage gets shut down immediately.
Yeah, I think both teams definitely have tools to engage with. They have Cataclysm from Jarvan. They have Ornn's ultimate. They have Syndra E that can just knock someone back, quickly burst someone out. But both teams definitely do also have that disengage. Syndra can be crippling to get hit by that. Let's say Jarvan jumps in on Syndra, just QE from Syndra, and he's like knocked back. The ult comes through, the damage comes through. Both teams really looking for that disengage.
Yeah, we see both teams opting to start topside with the top laners giving everyone a niche, where both
Early
bot
game
lanes...
from Jarvan.
Oh, potentially. Kind of sitting in the wings right now.
Yeah, the stun came through, but Jarvan had just used his flag and drag to get over the wall.
Yeah, he's just sitting there too. He is opting to lose a lot of time farming.
Baylor really running this engage here, getting the flag and drag down. Stun coming out from the Ashe there. Not the Ashe. Oh god.
Well, that was Syndra, but there you go. It worked.
That's a death.
I mean, yes, you get that first blood. Yes, you are burning Syndra's TP to get back in lane and slowing down that scaling mage at this point. But you also lost pretty much all the time that you could have taken getting your topside jungle. We can see Maokai already entering that bot side jungle. Meanwhile, Jarvan just finishing Raptors. So maybe it's not as bad a hit as I'm saying it is. But it still feels like you maybe spent a little bit too long looking for that engage there.
Oh yeah, I'd still say it's a dub for Baylor, but engage coming out through on the top side from Cassante onto the Ornn here. I don't think this is going to be too much Cassante.
Yeah,
a little bit too far up in that lane.
Both tanks taking the grass proc and walking away.
Yeah, getting their proc.
I don't think we're gonna be.
Damage.
I don't think we're gonna be seeing much action in top lane this game. Not until it gets to the late game.
Yeah, I'd still give that props to Baylor for that mid lane play, because Syndra can be a monster in these late game team fights. And as Annie, you do want to get ahead. With those Annie buffs, Tibbers is just such a bigger monster than he was before. So much harder to kill and faster. You can just get some really nasty ultimates on this character now and just burst people out really fast.
Yeah, and I will say the only thing that Jarvan lost with that gank was actually just the ability to get his Krugs. Meanwhile, Maokai got a full clear, but as I'm talking, we've got an engage going down bot side. Nothing, it's close, but nothing's really going from that. Both junglers in the area and could walk down. Seems like they're both kind of treading water around Scuttle instead, but SCAD has the bot side advantage. Could move up to that?
Yeah.
No, Maokai opting for a lane gank instead.
Maokai being here, making sure that if the jungler shows up, they do have a 3v3. Maokai is sitting on the ward there.
Yeah,
Looks
and
like
that'll be
Baylor's
enough
just
to
gonna go for
scare
the
off Baylor.
disengage.
Smart call and good ward. If that ward wasn't there, though, I think that might have been a turn for SCAD, although Xayah is the lowest out of anyone in the lane at the moment. If I had to guess, if the ward wasn't there, my gut says that would have been probably a 2 for 2.
Yeah, I could see 2 for 2. It'd probably start with Chris getting burst out pretty hard and maybe dying, but at least a kill could probably be traded back from SCAD.
You know it's going to be a slow game when we start talking about the engages that could have happened.
Yeah. It's probably going to be a farm for most of the game, farm fest.
Yeah, I'm expecting like a pretty slow first 20 minutes, and then like at the 22-minute mark, everything's just going to start going crazy.
No, yeah, these team fights are going to be pretty explosive with these characters. Drag is up, but neither jungler really looking for it. Going up for the top side here with the gank. Cassante going in. Ornn trying to get him done, but he already used all of his cooldowns. He can't keep him stuck there.
Yeah, and now Jarvan's coming up from the river. Suddenly, SCAD is in a pincer position. Ornn's going to get out. Maokai kind of walking away. SCAD walking it back, but Cassante's getting low. Gonna burn a flash from Maokai to get out of that situation. No casualties on either side, but a lot of health traded.
Yeah, everyone's just too tanky. It's like a slap fest up in the top side. No one really wants to go through with it, so they all just end up walking away.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna be what topside is, as I've been saying. That very slow slugfest back and forth. We're not gonna see a whole lot of action, but once we do, I don't think we're gonna stop seeing action for the latter half of the game.
Ornn does have the ultimate here. He could get a pretty cheeky play. Nah, not gonna do it.
Cassante gets one right back, yeah. Although Cassante's looking for an engage, gonna get the grass proc, gonna go all out. Okay, suddenly this is a battle. The Unstoppable gonna break through the knockup, and Ornn flashing to get out. Alrighty then.
Yeah, a lot of damage, a lot of fighting. Not much coming of it though. Ornn just gonna TP back in the lane, make sure he doesn't lose any CS on his tower there.
Yeah, and I will note that Cassante hasn't burned any sums yet.
Oh wow.
Ornn's walking back with a couple of items, but other than that, Cassante, I think, is slightly in the lead here on top side.
No, yeah, Cassante just gonna take his little cheater recall there. Be back in time, more than enough time to catch that wave. Not really gonna lose much pressure up there. Bot side though, it does seem like it's going the way of SCAD, just from looking at farm right now, but fairly even in the bot side.
Yeah. They are opting for the fasting Senna strats with Seraphine there, which is why you see all the CS on the Seraphine instead of the Senna. Not quite sure what's happening mid right now. Oh, something's happening.
This looks like it's going to be a good stun for Maokai, but he can't get the distance. He can't get in. Ash slowing them. Maokai getting the stun down. That's just a kill.
Oh, really took a little bit longer than expected there, though. No exhaust coming out from Senna, but pretty much every other sum burned on the side of bot, I believe, there.
Oh, yeah, that was really well played. Maokai able to catch up because of the slow from the Ashe there. Really well played.
Yeah, and that means SCAD is going to have free access to this first dragon. I think we're just getting another one of these very small, yep, just a small slugfest. Nothing really need to worry about. But SCAD opting not to take dragon there?
Oh, wow, yeah. I mean, I guess they're all a little low after the fight. They will have, you know, respawn timers are a lot quicker earlier in the game. There definitely probably would have been an angle for Baylor there to try and contest if they were able to get back quick enough.
Yeah, but because you didn't choose to take that dragon, now Baylor's going to get that Rift Herald instead, and that is a bad trade to see happening this early on in the game.
Yeah, you want to get on this dragon right now, but you've got your Ashe isn't even in lane yet.
And now Maokai jumping over, clearing vision on it?
He's looking like they're wanting to set up for it, make sure that they do have control over the dragon, just so that if they want to take it, they'll be there for this one.
Yeah. Seems like there's a bit of a setup going on for a fight here. Syndra almost getting caught out by Baylor. Oh, but here comes the Maokai ult, catching 3. Syndra, Ashe, everyone throwing their ults in. There comes Seraphine, far too late. And SCAD picking up 2 kills.
No, yeah, that Seraphine ult really well, actually, hitting 3 people on the back line, but your entire team's already dead. There's no point. The drag just firing on everyone, slowing everyone down, that's a fight that you just can't run away from. Once you're in that drag pit with this dragon, you need to fight. You will not have the mood speed to walk away.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because Maokai did start doing that dragon, he didn't have the health for the fight, and ended up being a casualty on the side of SCAD, which led to them not being able to secure that dragon there and having to walk away. Meaning, yet again, we're waiting for the dragon to be taken. Dragon's still up.
The dragon's still alive. Wow.
We're approaching 10 minutes, and no one has made a move on dragon just yet. Well, moves have been made, but no one's successfully made a move.
Well, I mean, that was still positive for SCAD. 2 of the kills going to Xayah. Very critical there. Chris being a big player in a lot of these games so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And 2 of the deaths going to Senna, too. Slowing down that scaling pick quite considerably.
Yeah. But this game, it's probably going to go out a little bit longer. That's probably what SCAD wants with the Ornn. They will be getting these items through. These items are going to be able to do a lot in the late game.
Absolutely. But any lead you can get in a duo scaling composition, I think you want to be able to get those little leads.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of action. I do see Maokai moving to bot side. There is a control ward that they seem to know about there. But as we can see, Baylor seems to just be backing off at the moment. No action going to be happening there. As a
Maokai
handshake back happening top? No.
Yeah, Maokai wanting to just get a pick, something on the bot side, something on the mid, wanting this dragon. Both teams really just not letting the other one get it easily.
Yeah, it has been back and forth. We can see Maokai's been trying to do a lot on the map. 0, 1, and 3. 100% kill participation, and the Rift Herald is coming down mid as I'm talking. This might finally be the move we needed for someone to go and take this dragon. We can see J4 moving towards it. Senna's coming to meet him. Seraphine hovering in the area, but SCAD bot lane is also kind of floating around there.
Yeah, the Rift Herald just going to try and keep Syndra in that mid lane for that little bit longer. Allows them to get the scuttle, but they're not going to try for the dragon.
Yeah, and Annie staying in lane while Syndra starts to rotate instead. Now SCAD has a better footing in it than I think Baylor does. Although we see Jarvan hiding in this bush that no one seems to know, waiting for someone to step up close enough.
Yeah,
I think we're on the verge of a fight here.
Just little saplings coming out from Maokai doing that little bit of damage. SCAD being very cautious around this team fight because the Cataclysm could be big. Getting out on this ADC here. Ult coming through. Getting really low. That's the ADC down for SCAD. I don't think that they'll be able to fight this.
No, they gotta back off. Syndra burned ult there, and that's the one thing you could use as an execute. Baylor just got the engages in before SCAD could. That Jarvan flag and drag got him in, got the Cataclysm, and that was curtains. All Seraphine had to do was press her R button.
No, yeah, if you saw it, the Cataclysm there. Do you know it's the same size as Cataclysm? Annie ultimate. That ADC never stood a chance. Xayah just got blown up, and she was locked in there with Tibbers. Tibbers able to just do so much in these team fights now.
Yeah, and I think Xayah tried to use that ult to get out of the situation. I didn't quite catch when that came through. My guess is it was just too little too late. But hold on, do we have an actual battle to the death happening top, or is it just another slugfest?
No. Their health is too high.
Yeah, no. Why did I even try to pretend something was going to happen top?
Yeah, this game actually looking really close. Favor going to the side of Baylor right now.
Yep.
Thanks
It
for the
is
graph,
actually,
man.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh,
You might be looking for the all-out, getting behind him right now.
Yeah, but Ornn's still holding on to that. Oh, great knock-up coming through. It's
Ornn's
just more
getting a
slugfest,
solid
though.
Damage on. Yeah, but those little advantages, that little health advantage, making Cassante just not want to all on you that much more, makes Ornn that much safer in lane. And that's all you want as Ornn. You want your farm, you want your XP, you want to give your guys some items. Just still slapping here. Kasante
Yeah,
getting a bit more damage off, I think.
The other great thing about Ornn in this matchup right now is he has a Sunfire Aegis where Kasante doesn't have anything. Obviously got some components to build to an item, but that's helping him in these little slugfests, and that's why you see that Ornn pulling ever so slightly ahead, those extra resistances and those extra little ticks of damage. Although, hold on, I see a Maokai hiding in a bush, and Gage is going through, but... Oh, here comes Jarvan!
Here. Maokai all just being so fast. Jarvan gonna be able to just take out this Ashe so easily. The flash coming out from the ADC on the side of SCAD through the Cataclysm.
Here comes Syndra.
That is
there
some
goes
damage
Senna.
onto the Senna. Wow.
Teleport
TP
coming
from
through
the top
from
side
Ornn.
here.
Are we gonna
Both
see?
TPs
Here
coming in.
comes
Ornn
the ult!
Oh, it's,
oh my god.
Oh, it's huge. It's just ults everywhere. Xayah gonna be taken out here from the side of SCAD. I think that Baylor might have this.
Yeah,
Ornn
no
so
recall
low
from
on
the
that
feathers.
backside.
Oh, so close
so
to taking out the
close.
Jarvan! Didn't quite get it, and Baylor gonna pull ahead, getting 2 kills and a 1 point, yeah, just a 1k gold lead. Wow, what a fight. I was not expecting the team fight to happen that soon, but man, that was just a crazy fight. Although, hold on, it might not be over.
Oh, a lazy
Kasante
back
getting
from
caught?
Kasante.
Oh,
Nah,
not
nah,
enough
they
to
able to
try and
walk it
go
out.
in.
I
Yeah.
thought that that was going to be SCAD's fight. Whenever I saw the Ornn come in before the Kasante, I thought that it was going to be Curtains. But the Kasante coming in, just able to do so much damage, take out those key targets there. Xayah going down was probably the turning point for this fight there for SCAD. That fight, I was I was having fun with that one. That was an explosive team fight.
Absolutely. I think the main thing that happened there, and I don't know when it happened, Xayah used her feather recall a little too early. I was waiting to see those feathers get dragged back after her ultimate, and it never ended up coming through.
Yeah, I think she stunned someone earlier on in the fight, and it just wasn't done there. But look at that ult. It's,
Poor
Maokai
Annie.
getting the kill. I don't know if you want that, but it's still Annie dead. All that farm going into the tower, getting denied. So still good on the side of SCAD there.
I think you can take that kill on Maokai this early. It would be good on the Syndra, but I don't think you mind having it on the Maokai.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
still providing a great, excellent source of damage, CC, and tankiness, so
Bully
you
on
can
the top side.
get a lot out of it. Is anything happening? It doesn't seem like anything's happening.
No, but
this
it was
is
just like bullying Ornn. It was very sad to watch.
this is the problem with tank metas. It's just a little bit of a slugfest back and forth. Although, hold on a second. Maokai recalling as Jarvan's coming in topside. Although he also seems to be recalling.
Yeah,
I don't think Ornn's
you
going to be
wanna
stepping
dive
up.
Ornn there.
Yeah, Ornn's not going to be stepping up. I don't think that's a dive you can win. Yeah. Kasante sticking around, Jarvan going home. And we're kind of back to this neutral state of everyone just farming and trying not to die.
Yep, but drag will be coming up in 30 seconds. Both teams probably wanting to contest that.
Yeah, and I forgot to point it out, but SCAD did pick up the Rift Herald there. I didn't quite catch that.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if like the sound of it got drowned out or something, but Maokai did pick up the Rift Herald there, so we might
Bot side
see
looking
that.
for a gank on the mid lane. The Cataclysm coming through. There's nothing she can do. She has to flash as well, but does she have it? No, she does not.
Yeah, still a quarter of the cooldown remaining, and that is a 4-person dive. Pretty
Yeah.
much no one can survive, especially without a flash. Maybe if you had a Zanya's. You did have a stopwatch, actually, as I'm looking at Syndra's inventory. Although,
I don't think it would have
not
helped.
worth the burn. Yeah, not
Yeah.
worth the burn, because you still couldn't really get it there.
Jarvan, with this Cataclysm, the flash tax. Anytime you flash, you're gonna want that vision, because he can just come right out of the fog of war, ult you. You're not going anywhere. Look at these targets. Xayah, no way to get over the wall. Ashe, no way to get over the wall. Syndra, no way to get over the wall. I don't think anyone on the side of SCAD actually can get through that Cataclysm, besides maybe Maokai if he W's
I
over.
think Maokai can W over, and Ornn can charge through.
No,
but
Ornn would
those
hit
are
the
the only
wall.
two. No, because Ornn's charge breaks player-made terrain. Although, as I'm saying that, we've got an engage coming through from Ashe, hitting the Seraphine there. Just
That was
barely going to
actually
get that
close,
with the
yeah.
ultimate. Although, once again, another kill going to Maokai, and that one I'm going to say probably should have gone to Xayah. Yeah, I wanna point out super fast here. Jarvan has 100% kill participation on the side of Baylor.
No, wow.
Absolutely the MVP player in this first game. Just making the plays and being the reason why Baylor is doing so good, getting these engages with Cataclysm. And as I'm saying that, it looks like another one's coming through. Syndra does have Flash this time and is going to be able to escape that danger before anything really comes of it. Although now we've got 3 people bullying Senna on the bot side, trying to get her off there so that they can take
Flash packs looks like they're going to want to rotate here onto the bot side.
They're going to catch that just in time.
The saplings just slowing you down. You're not able to get into here. He just used Cataclysm, so that's easy enough for SCAD to walk away there. Good
and just enough slow with the saplings and the Ashe W there, being able to disengage safely without too much problem.
No, yeah, I'm enjoying this game. The back and forth, we really got a close one here.
Yeah, I thought it was going to start going the way of Baylor for a second there, but as it's been going on, yeah, SCAD's been managing to pull it back and make it even time and time again. They actually have a gold lead at the moment, despite being down in the kills.
Well, both dragons give about 500 to 1,000 gold worth of stats, so Baylor, I'd say, still ahead by a bit here. But SCAD, in these macro plays across the map, seem to be getting ahead. It's just in these team fights. Baylor having the Cassante, having the Cataclysm, having the Annie, being able to get these key picks early on, winning. That's how they're winning out in this game.
Yeah, they're getting their engage ults in first, and that is the big thing that I think is making the difference here. We're seeing Jarvan starting to set up again. It looks like we might be on the verge of another team fight here. We've got the Rift Herald coming down in mid lane, trying to draw a little bit of attention maybe, but there's already everyone in the area. The only people not there are the top laners, both of whom have their teleports up.
Are they going to get the backside of it? Oh!
They are. All right. Rift Herald ends up doing nothing except drawing some attention. We've got Cassante rotating down on foot, potentially, it seems like here. And SCAD is outnumbered. Although, no, Annie.
But that's the stun. Cataclysm. Oh, Xayah being able to get away with the ultimate. But the ult coming out from Maokai here, getting the stun. Cataclysm already used. Oh, the flash out from the Cataclysm. The tax coming through there. Cassante too slow. But the Ashe, she's going to need to E back. The all out dodging the Xayah feathers, but right into the tower.
And that was disastrous on the side of Baylor. That was what SCAD needed to firmly cement their foothold as the leaders of this game. I mean, a lot was done well on the side of Baylor there, but the problem just was that Jarvan couldn't get that engage, and that starved him and left him stranding. That Cataclysm almost led to Xayah getting killed. Although, hold on, the fight's not over yet. We've got an Ornn ult coming through. Annie getting a kill, although down goes the ADC and mid laner.
Just throw Tibbers at the Baron.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think your Seraphine's going to be stealing Baron anytime soon, but SCAD is backing off?
I guess the call here is that they do have the J4 back alive, and they just don't want to risk it for the steal. Also, a lot of them being low here, just not wanting to risk any miracle plays through the Cassante or through the J4.
I see what happened. I think as part of that scuffle, Maokai somewhere along the line burned a smite and didn't have it back up. So because that J4 was up, they decided to just play safe and pull away. Although we can see they're starting to move to Dragon, and so is SCAD. So it looks like we're just going to be fighting over yet another objective here.
Yeah, and that last fight, I think a big part of it was the Cassante and the J4 both went in, but the team was just that little bit farther away, and SCAD getting that damage off that little bit sooner, killing the front line of Baylor that little bit quicker, and getting that team fight. But it looks like we're going to go back here. Cassante going in.
Ooh, big stun. Nothing going to come from it, though. A lot of CC being thrown out on both sides, but none of it connecting enough for anyone to want to commit. Although the Ashe arrow is going to miss.
Not hitting anyone. Chris getting stuck. She doesn't have flash. But the feathers going through here, the front line tanking for SCAD. Oh my god, the damage onto Cassante.
Oh
the
my
back
god.
line is just getting shredded here, and it's all only squishies left. Ornn loves that. He's about to eat these bot laners alive, but it looks like they pushing him off for the moment right here. But Ashe being able to slow them. Oh, the damage coming through from... But Ornn, can he get the stun? I think that this might go the way of Baylor.
Fight's not over. That was an ace for Baylor. Oh my god. A little too split there on the side of SCAD. SCAD started trying to go half for Senna, half for Seraphine and Annie, and because of that lack of commitment, they ended up not choosing and getting counteracted. Senna got an Olaf that shot people down. There was a stun that came through, and SCAD just didn't commit enough, and that is the third dragon with none for SCAD.
Yeah, I don't know if Ornn Ultimate, he was holding it or if it had just come back online, but that what you were saying, that commitment that needed to be made. He was holding that ult, maybe for greed, maybe he just didn't have it, but he just got kited out really well by the side of the bot lane.
I will say I do think I saw Ornn Ultimate was not quite up at the start of that team fight. I think it came back halfway through, and that might have been why it came through, but it was too little too late at that point. Again, these J4 Cataclysms are just decimating SCAD. It's been such a good pick for Baylor here. The only person who can really escape it is, again, I've talked about Ornn, but he'd have to burn the charge to destroy terrain. As I'm talking about it, it's coming through again.
Good,
and now the Ash Arrow's coming through.
ADC. Ash Arrow coming through. The stun's coming on into the Annie here. But the damage is coming to Annie, bursting down the Ash just that little bit quickly during the team fight. But they're going to need to back up here. It's a 4v3. They need to get out of here. But I don't know if the tree will be able to make it out alive. Yes, he does. Play the weak coming down. The re-engage. The Ornn is back into the back line. The tree goes down, but Ornn trying to slap up this Cassante here. I don't think they're going to be looking for more.
Yeah, way too late on the Ornn for engaging there. Unfortunately, was there a ward? It doesn't look like there was. There wasn't a ward anywhere in the area that Ornn could have TP'd to try and get into the fight. Could have used tower potentially, although hold on. That's a big stun. That's a big knockup. That is a stopwatch on the Jarvan. And a turnaround killing the Xayah. Cassante going all out, taking tower shot after tower shot, barely hanging on. Jarvan going in now, getting stunned again. These towers.
Oh, he hits the wall. Oh, there you go. Thank God.
And now Cassante on the run. Is he going to get out? It looks like it's Seraphine also kind of low. Syndra could get a stun, although Ornn went around and Cassante decided to start taking blue buff. Senna barely providing enough protection. Okay, well,
he tried to hit him over the wall so we could blast on him.
Okay, well, wait, Cassante finally going that. Oh,
the heal coming through.
Barely coming through just in time to keep Seraphine alive there. What a game we are witnessing here. This is so even and so back and forth. Although, as I'm saying that, another
Ash ult. Oh, that's easy.
I don't know that the Ash ult even needed to happen. She just died in a half second to Syndra.
Look at the Ash ult. Look, it's almost back up already. 30-second cooldown. It's fine.
True, true. We don't really need to worry about blowing an Ash ult. Although it looks like this should be a decent Baron for SCAD. They're taking it a little slower than I expected. We can see Seraphine still hanging around in the area. What is Annie doing? I guess
trying to look for one of those picks, but if you saw in that last fight, Annie, but the J4 going over the wall, trying to look for the smite steal here. He gets it!
Okay, well, that went to at least Seraphine. Maybe went to Cassante or hovering over the wall. Is J4 getting out? There's no way J4 gets out.
Oh my God. Here on the
he doesn't get out. He's re-engaging. Cassante's engaging on the backside. Seraphine finally going down. And Ornn took a wrong turn, ended up in the wrong jungle, and I think he's also going to be paying for that. Yeah.
The hero plays coming through here. Honestly, this jungle on the side of Baylor, trying to put his team on the back every single time that one of his teammates get picked, he just going straight into that Baron pick, making up for it.
Taking the cup, regardless of whether or not Baylor takes the win here, is absolutely the MVP player. So many plays, so many just interactions have been decided because of Baylor, and I just can't get a cup. Take my round of applause. You are carrying your team to victory here.
Yeah, just that final pick for the side of Baylor. They looked at that team, and he saw that they picked a very immobile comp on the side of SCAD. That's a draft difference, I think, maybe, for that character, just because those Cataclysms have been so monumental for the side of Baylor in these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these stat lines, you'd think that SCAD was ahead. The only person with a shutdown being Syndra, who is currently 10-3-4, which is very scary for a scaling mage, who is going to be able to deflect Jarvan from that engage.
Yep.
Almost just caster cursed Syndra as I started talking about it.
No, yeah, if Syndra sees you coming, there's not much you can do. She'll just push you away and walk away there.
Yeah, and once
again, to bot side.
Once again, we've just got a fight that isn't quite happening. You know, it's on the verge of happening. Someone just needs to
Drag
make an
coming up.
engage.
This will be the drag soul. SCAD really wanting to deny them that here.
Absolutely, they need to try and get one.
I'm
Look
looking
at
the
all of those
Cataclysm
Christmas
and the Ornn
lights.
Ultimate.
All right, we're definitely in engage distance now. Just waiting for the first one to come through. Ornn stepping up, not going to do too much. Although here comes the horn
coming through, knocking up 2 there in the middle of the fight. Cataclysm not going to be able to be cast. He's dead already. The ult coming out from Xayah here, but the all-out going onto the Xayah, barely being able to get here. But he's getting taken out in the back of the fight. Only the bot lane left here for Baylor. I don't think that they'll be able to make this dragon.
No, they won't. Seraphine can't do much to help, and Senna can shoot from a distance, but that's pretty much all they can do. SCAD doing a really good job there. That Cassante almost scary for a second, but he was able to be shut down, and SCAD finally getting a dragon on that soul point.
Sorry, Nick. They probably just checked the patch notes or something and saw, oh, J4 was buffed. I'll play J4.
Well, the buff J4 is very much so proving himself in this game. Yeah, I'm glad SCAD finally managed to get their hands on a dragon. They had been fighting for it since minute 5, but only now have they finally managed to actually secure one for themselves.
Yeah, this game, the back and forth, it's a lot.
It is almost addicting just watching this back and forth. There's like a team fight every 2 minutes. It's great.
No, the slap fest I'm seeing, I'll be honest, I love myself a tank meta. Just something about seeing those Kraken Slayers coming through, the beefy boys slapping each other. I enjoy it. I enjoy the slap fests in these team fights.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's just fun because it means the fights last longer.
Yeah.
I'm saying this as a Pyke main. I think it's better than Assassin metas.
Oh yeah, nothing feels worse than dying to one ability.
Yeah.
I only play ADC, so that's all I know, but...
Oh, yes, indeed. I feel you as a Jhin secondary.
Tank metas
All right.
allow me to live just that little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, it seems like we're in yet another back and forth waiting for someone to make a move state, except there's nothing to fight over right now. So everyone's literally just kind of standing around looking for something to do. There's a little bit happening bot side, but, I mean... it's Ornn versus Jarvan and Annie, and unfortunately Ornn is like the one person you can't kill as Jarvan and Annie. Although it seems like they're still gonna try.
Yeah, but they're sitting in these bushes. They want these picks because they know it's slowly starting to slip away from their grasp. Neither team being fully on top here.
Yeah, SCAD just barely starting to pull ahead. Although they're a lot more separated around this map. That group of 4 getting dangerously close to the Xayah, who is dangerously far away from the rest of her team right now. If anybody walks up into that area, I mean...
This might be a
just
free
kinda
mid
dead.
turret. You're trading for the top side, but that's a tier 2. Your inhibitor turret is going to be open, and you're going to want to be here to stop them.
Yeah, Ornn starting to rotate up, Xayah coming around. Ashe
They're just
in
still
a
walking
weird
it through,
flanking
getting the
spot?
turret.
Oh, though
but
here
Scott coming
comes
out from
Maokai.
behind. The Ornn out going to get it. Oh, it's hitting 2 there on the backside.
Ornn got out of the
Cataclysm not hitting a
Cataclysm.
lot.
Ornn got out of it with the breakable terrain, as I've been talking about. Just enough to
Nice
use the ult to
Xayah
disengage,
ultimate.
although Seraphine's still going to die. Cassante now fighting for his life, maybe trying to get a pick here. Tanking through that Syndra ultimate. Yeah, no, just not really having any good targets, and now on the run. I think someone just died there. It was Andy, I believe. All right, well,
Pairing up in 8
SCAD...
seconds. They're probably going to be setting up for that once they reset.
Yeah, I think SCAD has finally pulled far enough ahead here to solidly say that we have someone in the lead right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
do they get an inhibitor off that? The only person up is Jarvan right now. And Jarvan is on a ward.
They definitely get the turret, but I don't know about the inhibitor.
Yeah, Senna's coming up. We've got Seraphine up in a few seconds. Yeah, they're going to back off, just play it safe, which is perfectly fair. You've got you've got 27 kills to 19. 8 kills in the lead. 4K gold advantage. You're doing just fine for yourself. Although Syndra...
And that's the flash. That's not going to be used on Cataclysm in the next team fight.
Yeah.
If I'm J4, I saw that happen, and I went, this Syndra, after she uses her E in the fight, I'm going to immediately go onto her.
Yeah. Yeah, Syndra is absolutely your next priority target. We've got Dragon coming up in under a minute here now. Although Jarvan's on the other side of the map, it looks like Maokai's starting to rotate down. Although maybe not. Might be still up for a little bit before anyone tries to do anything with it.
Dragon coming up in a little bit. Baron, no one really wanting to do anything right now. Just taking jungle, taking camps, walking around.
Yeah, it seems like we're back into another state of setting up for the next team fight. SCAD definitely has the better footing here for this Dragon, although it looks like Baylor might be considering responding with a Baron sneak.
Well, they know that SCAD is going to want to set up on the Dragon because they want to deny them Drag Soul. So they're saying, fine, we'll give you the Dragon, and we'll take Baron and push it into your base.
Yeah, but SCAD has enough wards to see what's going on. They know what's happening. J4 going to have to flag and drag to get out. But they are going to start. They are going to start working on that Baron. Although Senna just gets deleted by 2 moves, and here comes the Horn.
Hitting 3, but the Senna ult in response, hitting 3 as well. The ult coming out from Feathers here, calling back all onto the Cassante. Cassante can do nothing about that, getting damage through. Cassante knocking up 3, all out coming through, but he's so low, there's nothing he can do about that. And they might just walk this into base instead of taking Dragon.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about the Baron. You don't need to worry about the Dragon. You've got an inhibitor right now that you can go collect. Might as well go get it. And you can honestly start to threaten those Nexus turrets a little bit too. You've got about... you've got about 20 seconds to work with before people start coming up and you got to start walking away. Although, Jarvan still looking for some crazy engage angle here.
Mr. Cataclysm.
Oh, he's trying to stall the
wave,
I think, yeah. Although, as that's happening, your only other living member, Seraphine, has to flash to get out of danger. Although, suddenly that Senna ult hit, and everyone's a little low health, and Jarvan's kind of blocking your exit.
Jarvan might be able to just jump in here and pick someone off, but it's so much damage on the side of SCAD, getting blown up immediately. Ornn trying to get out of here. I think that the tree will have to go. Oh, the feathers!
Picking up the kill with the feathers on the way out.
Look behind you.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I think you take that 1-for-1, although, hold on a second. Baylor knows that SCAD is low right now, and they're trying to force a play on the Dragon, but...
Ornn TPing back in. The TP's coming through. Neither team wanting the other to get the drag.
They have 4-3 right now. We've got Xayah coming in slowly. Maokai also coming with her, I believe. I don't know where Maokai... Oh, is Maokai dead? Maokai's dead.
Ornn is going to come through onto 3. The Ashe ultimate sniping the Seraphine out of the team fight here, and they're just going to back off on the side of Baylor.
Yep, you have to walk away now, I think. Neither jungler is up. Maokai going to be getting there a little bit faster than Jarvan is, which means that SCAD can pretty safely take this. And yeah, no contestation on the side of Baylor. They are now down 12 kills. Nasty little bit to be down.
That feels so good for SCAD. Every single time this Dragon comes up, you don't want the jungler to be there. You just want to get it for free. You don't want to have to start sweating about any Drake steals coming through, giving them that Dragon Soul. And I usually say when I'm ahead, I feel better if Elder Dragon is not on the table. Because if that gets stolen, a team fight, even if you're like 10k gold ahead, can go south really quickly.
Yeah, but we've got a team fight coming out now. There is going to be a Baron taken on the side of SCAD. There's a back and forth now. Maokai going to get picked out. Never went to the Baron. Instead, just started collecting vision. A nice pick on the side of Baylor there. But the Baron's still going for SCAD, so...
yeah.
Net positive?
I'd say that's still net positive for SCAD there. I'm pretty sure the tree, just making sure that junglers know where to be seen so that he doesn't steal it with a smite or something. Secure it perfectly, but does get a little bit too greedy.
Yeah, and unfortunately that does happen from time to time. But you know, when you're 12 kills ahead, I think you can safely assume you can go down to being 11 kills ahead.
Yeah. But with no objectives up, it's probably just going to be a little bit of hiding in bushes, a little bit of trolling going on for both teams, waiting for someone to face check. Get a free pick, free kill.
Yeah. We are approaching the 40-minute mark of this game. The only thing right now is that inhibitor that is down. We're not going to see a Dragon or a Baron until the 41-minute mark for the next Cloud Soul, I think. SCAD's already taken a lot of objectives at this point. As long as Baylor plays defense, that Baron not really going to mean a whole lot unless someone gets a stray engage going.
Ash ult for vision, probably. Just going down the mid lane.
Yeah,
You
maybe
don't
trying
really
to
need
snipe
it.
someone, I guess. It's already a third of the way back up. You're fine.
Yeah.
Although, hold on. Cassante on the flank. Nope, gonna get noticed and pushed away.
Baylor's pretty split up here. If they get a pick on really quickly here, not going to go for it. Cassante in the back line. Looks like they're going to engage onto the Cassante. Cassante looking to find someone. All out goes in. Cataclysm onto the Xayah there. Xayah ulting. Xayah going. Zanya's not being able to be killed. Annie going to be taken out here. Everyone else surely to follow. And this is looking like the game for SCAD here.
And one by one, they fall. SCAD not even sustaining a death with that one. Cassante going down, being the only surviving member. SCAD takes game 1 in this best of 3.
What a match. I am excited for the next one.
Yeah, indeed. If we get another game like that, oh man, we're gonna have a fun time. We will have to wait and see whether or not Baylor can be the ones that get the foothold and pull ahead first in the next game, or whether or not SCAD's gonna go up clean 2-0 yet again.
All right, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Take care. There we go.
All right,
Hello,
sorry about
everybody.
that. We're back.
Just to catch you up real quick, Maokai, Udyr, and Urgot banned out thus far. That's all you need to know.
No, yeah, they did not like that Maokai pick. Udyr, another just really amazing jungler right now, getting banned off on that team.
Yeah. Camille coming through on the side of Baylor here. Sorry, we're getting back into it very quickly. Didn't get time to recalibrate. Oh no, I'm sorry. The side switched now.
Yeah, side switched. So
Are we gonna see
we're
another
on the
ban
right.
run back? No, Wukong banned in place of, I think it was Kassadin last time. No, wait, I think this is the exact same bans, isn't it?
Yep, exact same bans basically.
Yeah.
I think
I'm a little
Wukong was in the
surprised by
second
that.
phase, but very similar.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised to see that.
Jax wasn't banned. That was one of the ones coming out from SCAD that was banned early on there.
Yeah. I feel like after that last game, I would have maybe tried to throw something at Jarvan. Because Jarvan did a lot of work for Baylor in that last game. I would have probably tried to respect that.
Sion.
Oh! That's a pick you don't see every day.
No, yeah, Sion can be fun. And I think that the J4 pick really worked so well last game because of what SCAD was running. Everyone on their team, literally everyone, had no way of getting out of the Cataclysm without Flash, unless the enemy team gave it to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If
Well,
they
we're
were
seeing
in
that
there, they
Zaya
were
come
stuck.
through again. She was able to get through a lot of those cataclysms. If she just used her ult in response, she could avoid whatever was supposed to be happening down there. It seems like we might just be seeing a bot lane run back as we see Senna start to be hovered on the side of Baylor and gonna be selected, which I'm guessing means Seraphine is right behind her. Yep.
Yay. All right. Anything else? Final pick for SCAD.
Anything new beyond the Sion pick? I guess we've got an interesting top lane now with Sion versus Jax.
Oh yeah, I like some. I mean, I feel like I'll root for Jax in my head just because I love seeing Jax, but it's gonna be an interesting top side. And he banned out from SCAD. The ability to pick off someone so reliably can be really nice in team fights.
Yeah, especially, and it also threatens less of the Jarvan pick because, you know, Annie's ultimate is the exact same size as Jarvan's Cataclysm. If you don't have the Annie, you have one less tool to use with that Cataclysm.
Yep.
And Kassadin gonna be thrown through along with Veigar from Baylor.
I mean, I guess they don't like Veigar. I don't know.
Understandable.
Cage can
Who
be
does?
really annoying for some characters.
It can be. Especially with the, it's not Battle Boss, it's Astronaut. Veigar's Astronaut skin. I know the visual doesn't quite line up. Yeah, well, we got Vex coming through as the last ban on the side of Baylor here. SCAD gonna have to choose between jungler and mid laner. Obviously, a lot of options for mid just got taken off the table, pretty much exclusively. I almost said, could we see Asol?
Could we see
forgetting
Asol?
that he was still disabled for this week, unfortunately. Next week we'll see him.
Jin
Xin Zhao. Interesting pick. I kind of like it though. Very, very similar style to Maokai.
I
although
love Jin Zhao's playstyle. Jin Zhao,
yeah,
just that scrappy, bursty fighter that early on in the game, if you hit that combo, can do some insane damage. Swain maybe coming out in the mid lane.
Can we see
for
Swain?
Baylor.
I love Swain. Swain is awesome, especially in these big team fights that have been happening a lot.
Yeah,
and
the
yeah,
bot-
that's gonna get locked in.
The bot lane for Baylor just being super squishy. Maybe they're thinking, want a bit of a tankier mid laner that can still get that DPS later on. But J4, maybe? Comp is still pretty difficult for them to get out of that Cataclysm. Xin Zhao can do it a lot more reliably. Trundle. Big buffs for Trundle coming out this patch. His, like, W, the thing that lays a little ice on the ground, allowing him to go that little bit faster. And even bigger buff, his dance now scales with move speed. And Cassiopeia may be coming out here from the side of SCAD.
I think I like that in response. Obviously, SCAD mid loves to play those scaling mid laners, so not surprised at all to see that one get locked in.
Cassiopeia. Yep.
That's not Swain top, is it? Trundle mid, Swain top? That's not what's happening
Trundle
here.
mid? No, it's probably just.
That's not happening.
It probably
That's not
just looks
happening.
like that.
It probably
We're
just
not in the
looks like
beginning,
that.
right?
Yeah. If that is what's happening, I'm going to laugh. I guess. I guess I'm gonna laugh. Yeah. Okay. So we're getting a run back of the same bot lane here, but everything else around the map has swapped up. I think we're probably going to see a very similar bot lane play out.
Yeah.
Where SCAD's bot will likely get ahead just a little bit. But you'll still see ganks from both junglers Xin Zhao and Trundle trying to affect that lane as much as possible. Meanwhile, Swain v Cassiopeia, Swain's gonna have a better early lane, but can still scale up. Not quite to the same level as Cassiopeia can, but can still, match her at least a little bit.
Yeah, Cassiopeia, her W here, usually really good for shutting down those mobile characters. They don't really have too much mobility on either side of the team. The most that she's going to be stopping is Jax from jumping out of the goop there and some flashes. Both junglers looking to be very aggressive here. Xin Zhao probably going to be ruling this early game. Trundle has a bit more of that scaling, but definitely is able to scrap it out in the early game as well.
Yeah, you were mentioning how that W is really good at immobilizing very mobile characters. The good news for Baylor is that Swain is possibly the least mobile character in the game. So, that's not too much of a concern. I'm very interested to see how this top lane goes, because we saw nothing but a back and forth slugfest between tanks last game, which, while entertaining in the late game, didn't really have much happening in the early game. But I think with Sion and Jax, we're going to see a far more active early game. I think it's going to be a fight from level 2.
No, yeah, Jax, statistics say Jax probably has the upper hand here, but I don't know. Sion can be really dirty with these bush strats. And we are almost ready to swap to BRB, and we'll be back in about a minute 30.
We'll see you soon.
All right, and welcome back to game number 2.
We are getting started here once again. Very similar story to last time. Not a whole lot going on, obviously. It's the early game. We're getting people through. I'm seeing a lot of movement in chat to get Wind Redacted, a skin for Ashe, at least a good skin for Ashe. I've seen, I think it was Woad Elf Ashe was the skin in last one, and now I believe that's Queen Ashe. If I got those off the top of my head, somebody please scoop my brain out because I know too much about this game.
Also, I would say SCAD could get pretty cheeky with Scion Bush strats here. SCAD Jungler is, though, doing the advanced tactic of leaving the game. All right, he's back. Probably just a little bit of internet problems, but getting caught off guard here.
Good time to come back.
Yeah, that would have been really bad if he gets caught out right there. That
2 seconds later, and Trundle just comes in and he's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Free kill."
No, yeah, SCAD internet really pulling its weight right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 2 seconds longer and the Hive Cafe would have just crashed altogether.
Yeah, but Scion just chilling top lane. Looks like they're not looking for any real Bush tactics to go on here. Dingleberry John patrolling, make sure that no one placed any sneaky wards and that little invade they did there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the skins now, trying to see who's got the better lineup here, and I gotta say it's pretty close. I believe that is the Mythic Chroma on High Noon Senna there, which is a very, very nice chroma to have.
This,
yeah.
Yeah, just a ward. Ah, nice sweeper. Getting rid of that a little bit, but Jack's just, I mean, I don't know why he's maybe looking to scrap with the top lane there, not wanting him to get the lane, forcing him to take the long way. That actually could be bad if he misses some farm.
Yeah, definitely not the start you want to see. Pretty good play there, too. And even stepping up, I can see in the minimap, to try and keep Scion further away from that lane, too. Looks like it's back to even now, but yeah,
Zaya,
I mean,
starting W, getting some really decent damage out on that bot lane. Both of those characters, of course, being able to heal, but that's nice just for some little bit of pressure. And I'm pretty sure that the Senna skin is a chroma of High Noon.
Yes, I was questioning.
Red.
Yes, that is definitely the Mythic Chroma. So, we've got that alongside KDA Seraphine, the indie version, which in my opinion is the best version of that skin. You can choose from 3. It's got like this whole unlockable quest thing. It's interesting. Yeah, versus, Baylor. Obviously, I've mentioned Queen Ashe.
Yeah.
Very, very cheap, very down their skin. We gotta get Project Ashe or something. High Noon Ashe, I think, is a great skin.
Project
Just give it to Wind Redacted. Project is good. I like Project a lot.
Well, Baylor definitely winning here on the skin trade, but oh, jungler off of Baylor just chunking out Jin Zhao, not letting him do much in his own jungle, knowing that he would be going for that bottom side after he finished his red. Really just, he might be able to kill him here if he's not careful. Trundle just being such an annoyance right now. Forcing the mid lane of SCAD to come down, but he might be able to get the kill. Flashing under the tower. I actually think, oh no, that's disaster. Oh, no. Can he get it back? Oh, but the Trundle is out with the pillar.
Oh, but here's
support coming down. Wind Redacted getting the kill back, but I don't think he's gonna want to fight this here. That's a 3v2. They're gonna back off.
I think that is the fastest I have seen a 4v4 team fight break out in a game that wasn't an invade.
Yeah, Trundle,
wow.
Jin Zhao getting just a little bit too greedy there, wanting that knock-up onto the Trundle. If he had waited just another second, they might have been able to get the kill without him dying there, but getting the kill, getting presumably the triumph off of Trundle and him being able to flash out, that was almost disaster for the side of SCAD.
Yeah, and another great play from Cake in a Cup, who we saw him dominating with that Jarvan in the last game, and it looks like a very similar story trying to break out here. He almost got away with that, and I think if he had, it would have been a very similar story, confirmably breaking out, although we can already see.
Here. But Jin Zhao in these team fights can scrap out very effectively, but the damage coming through down onto the mid laner is just too much, but Jin Zhao damage coming through here just being so much for that early. That knock-up, that damage, I love Jin Zhao, that passive, that healing, so much in the mid lane right there.
And that was very close, too. I think if Cassiopeia had fallen before Trundle did, that team fight would have swung the other way. It was very close. It came down to, I think, just a hit there. The one thing is that Swain isn't super great in those areas before he gets his ult going. Yeah. He's like good level 1 decent level 2, and then kind of falls off until level 6 when he can start staying and sticking those team fights with this massive draining AoE ult.
Yeah, Xin Zhao, I mean, there was like a whole phase in like season 7 or something where I just mained Xin Zhao because his play patterns are so nice, but the flash coming out from the top lane here on the side of is just barely not enough, but the mid lane coming through from the side of SCAD just taking out the kill. That's actually a really nice roam. Maybe he was baiting there on the top lane, Mr. Gaue.
Yeah, I have to assume Gauhi was baiting there for Dingleberry to come up, but what almost looked like an incredible play from Jax just turned into an unfortunate situation to see unfold. I mean, both sides are playing very, very well right now. It's happening a lot faster than last game, but we are getting yet another electric game going.
No, yeah, a lot of these fights breaking out are just starting looking really Baylor-sided, but SCAD, with these re-engages, with these reactions, doing really well.
Yeah, and I was looking up ahead and I saw there was a 1k gold lead on the side of SCAD, was trying to figure out where that was coming from this early in the game, and my answer to that would be the almost 20 CS lead that SCAD has in the jungle. Trundle's been focusing a lot on trying to make engages, make plays, get kills, but that has led to losing a lot of CS, and as I'm talking about that, big engage coming on the side of SCAD, Senna forcing to use Flash and Exhaust, Seraphine using Barrier, they're still coming at him.
They're fighting turret to turret in this bot lane.
Yeah, a lot of sums getting blown there.
Yeah, Trundle in the jungle using those buffs, trying to make the invades coming through. I feel like that first invade was really well done, putting him just that little bit behind, getting that kill, almost getting out, but getting a bit too greedy with him and maybe not respecting Xin Zhao's early game enough, because although they both can scrap very effectively, I think whenever he found him in the jungle in that first kill, that first trade, Xin Zhao was, you know, pretty low from taking, and he had probably healed up from, like, what are they called? Honey fruit or something, before he went to go scrap with him.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I think you might be right there. We do see both ults are up on the side of top, and Jax is going in for the engage. Getting pretty good with it. I also stand corrected. They were both level 6, but they both used their ults. I guess that was a scrap that we missed while that bot fight was happening.
Most likely, or maybe he just used it to get back into lane. But Xin Zhao, level 6 here, might be able to just push away that Trundle, trying to get damage out here onto somebody, but the bot lane is coming back here for SCAD. They might be able to pincer here. The bot lane, they're just going to be so much damage. Xin Zhao going back in. No level 6 for Trundle. He's not that tanky. Trying to drain tank here on the mid lane for Baylor, but just nowhere near enough to make up for disaster in the river.
Yeah, the Swain ult was a good idea. And also a decent pincer too. Even though his own team was getting pincer, he was coming in with this massive AoE drain ult, which definitely could have been something. But unfortunately, Swain's ult at level, the first time he levels it up, isn't that impactful, especially before he gets any items, before he gets his Leandries and whatnot, Demonic Embrace, all this big burn that keeps him going again and again and again. You can even do some crazy stuff like, I think Radiant Virtue is another one, just to give everyone around you a lot of healing and a lot of, well, I would say ability haste, but that just got removed with the last patch.
That's gone now. That team fight was just the pincer getting those 3 out of the fight immediately, and not allowing, just pushing this Swain out of the team fight, not allowing him to get anything. The stun coming out from the Xayah onto 3 really just sealing their fate.
Yeah, and ooh, I saw a Seraphine hit an Ashe, and an Ashe is all alone, does have a flash to get out in a worst case scenario, but is not going to be chased, it looks like.
Yeah, just walks it out. But that is pretty nasty, desyncing the ADC from the support. ADC going to be coming back to lane a lot quicker than Ashe here.
Yeah, it looks like Ashe is choosing to use that time to just roam up mid, help out a little bit there for a second, and then, you know, maybe go meet up with Xin Zhao, maybe walk back down, or just stick mid, I guess.
Soak a little bit of XP, you don't mind, do you?
Yeah.
Be here for a second.
Looks like right now, ooh,
Jax
fight's breaking
really
out.
just, ooh, really nice Ashe ultimate. Blessing in disguise, making Ashe go mid, making her just there for the right time for that fight.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Xin Zhao, Ashe, and Sion. All of those ults will be used. And
Baylor looking for the fight here. Sion in, not going to be able to hit the Q, but that ult coming out from Seraphine, doing a lot of damage. Swain here, Dren tanking up, doing so much damage to the entirety of SCAD, really just pushing them all out here. Swain throwing his weight around in this team fight.
And that is your new commander for Baylor there, Swain. Absolutely going to be decimating these team fights, especially if Seraphine can get those big engages with her ult like that. She managed to hit 2 people at the same time. Senna rooted someone. So there was 2 people who were charmed, 1 who was rooted, and Swain just got to walk up and burn everything to the ground.
If Jax is just going to jump on this ADC. Chris will probably see him coming and just walk away, though.
Yeah, looks like gone. Chris is walking. Yep. Yeah, so that's Swain, now absolutely the most powerful member on the side of Baylor right now, which you definitely need. Looking at the score right now, it is 3-9 with a 4K gold deficit on the side of Baylor right now. And
sneaky
it might be
coming out from SCAD. The lane swap, one of them's backing. They're both backing.
They're both backing.
Much for SCAD. Ashero actually hitting. I don't think that they'll be able to capitalize off it, but the stun is just so long.
They can't
move. The Jin Zhao going in, doing the damage. Not enough. The tower tanking on the Jin Zhao. They might be able to turn this. Jin Zhao missing his W. The jungler for Baylor coming through. They have to run away here. That was a really nice Ashe ultimate, but maybe if SCAD tried to capitalize that a little bit sooner, something would have been made of it.
I also got to call out Cowboy Radio. That Senna ult there absolutely saved Seraphine.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason she stayed up at all there. Tanks a lot of damage.
Fighting for the Rift Herald.
Yeah, the fight's not over yet, shockingly. And, unfortunately for SCAD, Baylor has more pieces in place, except Cassiopeia just bullied Trundle away. We've got the Swain ult going right now. Engage after engage. All I see is knockups. Here comes Jax. 1 by 1, they start to fall. 2 down on the side of SCAD, 1 on the side of Baylor. Oh, but the Sion is doing damage in the afterlife. The Ashero
back up
comes
again.
back through. Okay, who died in that fight? I think that was a 2. Nope, 2 for 3. SCAD coming out with 3 kills.
Who got the
Baylor's
SCAD also
2.
got the mid laner for SCAD picking up the Rift Herald there.
Wow. Okay,
Even bigger, they did that without Chris, so that's just a free bot lane tower. All of that gold going into that Xayah, who's already ahead on the bot side.
Yeah, I thought that fight was going to be disaster for SCAD, with Xayah still on the bot side, Jax moving up, and an ulting Swain in the middle of that team, and something just fell apart. I think SCAD was able to turn that around. They did. They forgot about the Sion.
Throwing his weight around. Jax, really a top pick right now, but behind him, Sion starts coming. Bonk, 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 just hitting him in the face. He goes down. There's no one left to peel for the side of Baylor.
Yeah, they got that Sion down, and with any other character except for like Karthus, that's good. Your job's done. I think like a couple extra auto attacks or something thrown at that Sion would have done enough to keep at least 1 extra member of your team alive there. Although, hold on, is Jax trying to get some revenge here? Unsuccessfully at least, and there's a bigger fight happening
Jax
mid.
Wins that if there's enough, but immediately placing the Herald down, probably just wanting to get some plates onto the Xayah.
Yeah.
None of them going to Ashe. Very good, actually. I thought she was about to yoink some of that gold.
I think she was trying to step up for it, but might have been just out of range. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt. You know, you prefer to have that gold on your Xayah. But I'm looking... It doesn't really matter right now. I'm looking at SCAD's scorelines. 3-1-8 on the Cassiopeia. 2-0-1 on the Xayah. 2-0-5 on Wind Redacted's Ashe.
Sion just... the meatball that you just can't get through. Yeah, you can't touch my tower. Sorry.
Yeah, you can step up with your dodge. You're still going to take the CC from getting knocked up.
But Baylor tickling the mid turret for the side of SCAD there. Everyone's grouped up there, but if you look at SCAD, the 1-3-1, with 4 people crunched up in the mid lane on the side of Baylor, they're missing out on a lot of XP and a lot of farm. In the meantime, Cassiopeia just eating up that bot side.
Yeah. I want to ask you, how do you think Baylor gets into this game at this point?
Swain definitely is going to need to be eaten good, and I feel like Jax, later in the game, can still become that monster, one of these picks that just really looking forward to. Trundle, even though he's behind, Pillar can be really annoying, and he can speed up the Jax. to be able to get those jumps into the back line.
Uh-oh, Trundle.
What?
Uh-oh, Trundle.
Trundle?
What are you doing, Trundle?
What are you doing?
Why aren't you in a bush, Trundle? What are you...
He was. I don't even think he was in a bush. He was just backing behind the turret.
He
Maybe
was
threatening a
just-
dive, but your Jax is so low.
Yeah. I don't quite understand why you weren't at least in the bush there. That was very much what led to that death, because Xin Zhao just snuck up and you never even saw him coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Interesting play. I'm going to assume there was a method to the madness, but the madness looks questionable from a distance. Yeah, in regards to how I think Baylor can get back into this, I think pretty much you need to play to your scaling, as you pointed out. You mentioned Jax scales very well. Swain obviously has that infinite scaling passive, but you've also got Senna with another infinite scaling passive, and Seraphine does pretty good in the late games when she can use her echoed abilities multiple times and use them multiple times throughout a team fight even.
I feel like Baylor, you're gonna want to start playing scrappy, looking for those players, catching them out. Because if you just play traditionally at this point, you're so far behind, you'll just get strangled. Slow and steady, you'll lose the game.
Yeah. And I think the other final problem for Baylor is that one major scaling threat on the side of SCAD, and that is Cassiopeia. 3-1 and 8. That is hard for anyone to deal with, and you gotta find a way to put a stopper on that, and fast.
Jax looking for the 1v1 here, but the entirety of SCAD is behind him. You only got your support there. Not being able to do much.
Yeah, a half-decent trade that led to a half-decent failure. Everyone's just kind of stepping around right now. It looks like there's people trying to look into this Rift Herald that seems to be coming up in a few seconds here. But not a whole lot that people can do until then. SCAD going to try and push in top a little bit. Jack's going for another engage. I'm worried he's getting a little too aggressive with these.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot he can do. I'm pretty sure he's just making sure that they can't walk up to the turret there. But Worktrim might be able to Ashall coming through. That's the jungler on the side of Baylor just taken out before the fight. Jin Zhao, though, hungry for more, maybe trying to look for the dive. Here we see Cassiopeia, of course, just getting farmed, getting hits on the bot side.
Yeah, and that's all you need to be doing with that Cassiopeia at this point. She is 3-1 and 8. She doesn't need another elimination. If she's just left to her own devices for long enough, she is going to be running this late game. And we see Swain moving down to try and answer her. The one potential person who could step up and try and fight her. Normally, like, her style of scaling is these quick and nasty, almost auto-attack-esque spells that she throws at you with her E. And, you know, Jax can normally deal with that kind of quick damage, but not with someone who's throwing out that much magic damage. That's the problem.
No, yeah, Cassiopeia really just going to be key in locking down this Jax later in the fight. Her Miasma probably going to be targeted at him for the most part. No one else on the side of Baylor having enough mobility to really warrant that.
Yeah. I thought I saw the rift get grabbed somewhere. I appear to have been mistaken. Although, nope, Cassiopeia's in no danger, so I don't have to switch what I was saying.
Slither out.
I guess the Rift Herald despawned, but that seems wrong. I don't know.
Someone might have killed it, and then no one picked up the eye, maybe?
I mean, that's a very amateur mistake to make at this point, but you never know. It happens sometimes.
It could have been, like, pressured off of him or something. I don't know.
I'll assume that it was a really cool team fight that we didn't get to witness, and nobody died. And yeah, we'll go with that. Although Sion now starting to bully the Jax for all the attempted bullying that happened in the early phases of the game.
He's got Bomby Cinder. He's got Heartsteel. Yeah, you're behind on this Jax here. And if you get some good team fights though, if you get the dodges in, you might be able to get some damage onto Sion here. But
yeah, hold on. Oh, there's a dragon fight going on?
Entire dragon fight. Wartrim getting the smite out, not really being able to do much on the side of yeah,
well,
I'm sorry, we just missed that dragon fight.
Third dragon for SCAD.
Yep.
In the opposite position they were in last game. You know how I was talking about that epic team fight that we didn't get to see that no one died in for the Rift Herald? I think the exact thing just happened, but for Dragon, after I said it.
So, Yeah, this game looking a lot different than last one. I feel like
Yeah.
last game, a lot of those scrappy tricks that the Baylor's jungler was trying to pull out was pulling off a lot more, but SCAD in this game really just looking out for him a bit more, noticing it, responding a lot better in the early game, and just getting that much farther ahead.
Yeah, that first game I think was a 50-minute game, and we're at the 20-minute mark, looking at a much different one in front of us. We've got a 5-15 scoreline. We're getting close to a 10K gold lead on the side of SCAD. It's not going well.
Yeah, not looking good for Baylor, but they still do have some turrets up, especially in the bot side. Still able to get some of this. They still control some of their jungle, most of the top side. Bot side is looking a bit more SCAD favored with the turrets being down. Wartrim, though, being by himself. The stun missing onto Wartrim from Senna there because of elevation in the 2D game, but you know.
Yeah. The problem is, even when we're calling out these characters as being by themselves, like Wartrim here, he's still got a full team fairly nearby. We've got Xayah mid who could rotate up, and Ashe and a Cassiopeia floating around in a very similar area. It's enough that you can kind of make these more risky plays and not be too worried about
A
it.
couple of these characters are ahead enough that if they play it right, they could probably 1v2, maybe even 2v3. But the fight breaking out here, Baylor looking like they're just caught in here, but the damage on the Wartrim is coming out big. Chris getting kill onto the Swain there, but the Ashe ult coming through onto the Senna. Senna ult doing pretty big things there, but on the backside, barely getting the kill there with the Cassiopeia.
And I think that is a sign of death, shall we put it, for Baylor here. The fact that Cassiopeia was able to do that much damage to Jax without even dying. Actually, nobody died on the side of SCAD there, and it looks like Trundle's about to die on the side of Baylor.
Maybe looking for that hero play like he had last game, but just with so many people up on the side of SCAD, you're just, yeah, go under the tower. Angry bee emote. Not
And
like
it
any
even goes to
situation.
Cassiopeia on top of that. Yeah, SCAD has pretty much everything in place to take this game for themselves. Nothing that can really be done for Baylor at this point except for salvage the few jungle monsters you have. Try and keep the waves as close to you as you can for the time being, and just hope for a miracle, hope for someone to misstep. But you've got Baron infused team of 5. Oh, did they just give up? Yes, they just gave up. That's the game right there.
Wow.
Choosing to surrender and take the humble way out. All right. Well, that is a clean 2-0 on the side of SCAD then.
I don't know. I didn't know you were allowed to surrender.
Yeah, you are. It's you can do it at any level of competitive play. You can just give up if you think you're
You can
gonna lose.
surrender in the LCS? I don't know about that.
You can. Fun fact. All right.
Really?
Yeah, it's a thing. You can Google clips of it if you want. Well, regardless, thank you for joining us for today's streams. SCAD now up 3 wins in the College League of Legends Esports division.
Yeah.
All of them 2-0s too, I believe.
This one, a little bit more challenging than the others, but still quick work. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be back here same time as this week, not last week. Saturday at 4 p.m. I believe that will specifically be Saturday the 18th if you are looking for a time and date. We'll see you then. We hope to see you soon. Thank you for joining us tonight. Once again, I'm Chugabit, joined by
Aiden and or Sprinkles, and we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.